I want to say good afternoon to you as well. I've learned very recently that 2 new cases of coronavirus, now known as COVID-19, have been identified in Middle Georgia. One is a resident of Macon-Bibb County, and one is a resident of Peach County. Both are under the care at Navigant Health, and I am advised that both are stable. When the enemy is at the gates, it's not a time to panic. Rather, it's a time to review our strategy, modify and update it as necessary through this challenge, and we will get through this challenge. Remember, for most of us, this will be an inconvenience. For those who actually do contract the virus, it will be a minor illness similar to the flu, even fatal disease. And that has been our focus up to this point. That is to avoid spreading this virus to our most susceptible citizens. Last week, health and emergency officials at the local and state level have begun to stress even more the need for people to take efforts that would slow the spread of the virus and to avoid contracting the virus. So today, we must not see today's confirmed cases as a time to raise the level of concern or worry, but to confirm what we already knew was going to happen, and to continue our efforts to minimize the impact. We have, up to this point, emphasized individual awareness and responsibility to avoid exposure to crowds and the public in general. Come together with a plan that's been developed by experts that's continuing to be modified and amended of this COVID-19 infection. I want to request and maintain that we urge you today to get additional information if you need it. There are several wonderful websites that you can, has a wonderful website with a lot of information about COVID-19 and precautions and things that you could be aware of. One last request from me, and that is, do not please call 911 except in cases of real and actual emergency, a fire, a life safety event that needs the immediate attention of the Sheriff's Department. Instead, rather than calling 911, call the non-emergency number, which is 751-7500. And people will answer that phone and try to provide you with the assistance that you might need, but avoid clogging up 911 with unnecessary calls, please. We appreciate this, and at this point, I'll be glad to answer any additional questions that any members of the press might have, but I'll just close as I began. We will get through this by working together, even when working together sometimes requires us to work remotely. We can work together remotely. Thank you. Grant.
Yes, sir. Yesterday there was one restaurant in town advertising a Stop the Hype special, asking people to come in. There have been others that have advertised similar specials. 2-part answer. One, what do you tell business owners who are encouraging people to come into their places of business during this, given the social distancing advice? And 2, is there any thought to doing things like maybe trying to suspend the liquor licenses to discourage people from going to bars throughout this period?
We have not considered that up to this point, Brad. We think instead that by encouraging people, encouraging individuals, be they patrons or be they owners of establishments, to take steps that are appropriate for them and their clientele, or if you're a patient. So rather than a curfew, we are again recommending that people use these social distancing measures and avoid unnecessary contact with crowds. You can still do that while supporting businesses and specials, especially for takeout. I know restaurants would appreciate your calling ahead and placing an order, and they'll bring it out to the curbside to you. As far as going out to bars and this, that, or the other, again, the kind of the magic working number is don't get in a crowd of more than 10 people, and keep a distance between you and other patrons. So if you feel like you just need to go in and have a drink and relax, I'm not going to say that you can't do that, but don't sit right next to somebody you don't know, would be my suggestion. And individual awareness and responsibility continue to be my theme.
Is there anything you feel as though that we're not prepared for, like medical supplies, or just anything that there might be a level of concern?
No, at this point, I want to say to both of our hospitals who have been working diligently to prepare for this and to acquire additional equipment, personal protection equipment, ventilators, etc. They are making preparations that I feel are going to be adequate, because they know better than I their capacities and their needs, and I know that they are working diligently on our behalf. So I'm not aware of any critical shortage of medicine or equipment at this point.
Can we hear from the advocate?
I concur with that.
Yeah, I'll be through here momentarily. Any other questions or comments? If not, thank you very much for covering this, and I hope we can reassure members of Macon-Bibb County that we will get through this. And again, bottom line, for most of us, it's going to be nothing but an inconvenience. For some who actually contract the virus, it's going to be a minor illness similar to the flu. And only for those who are elderly or medically fragile or very young and weak might this be a life-threatening condition. So keep that in mind. Be patient, work with others and work with your neighbors, and if there are service disruptions or delays, be a little understanding. We'll get through this by working together. Thank you.